Are you in a relationship that you feel that the thrill is gone, the spice has left, and there's nothing exciting left for you two?
I don't want to say it while they can hear, but yes.
Well, you are in the right place. Today on this video, we're going to talk about another strategy to help you strengthen your relationship and get the spice and the excitement back in your life. Stay tuned. What is going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Faith Like That, a Christian ministry that is dedicated to helping you live a clean life for Christ and to live that life abundantly. We want you not just to have faith, but to have applied faith in your life, the kind of faith that can help you move mountains. Now, on these videos, again, we're talking about relationships, and we want to make sure that we're helping you strengthen your relationship, have a great relationship, and have a strong and healthy family relationship and environment for you, your spouse, your children, and everyone that is in that environment. If you have not done so already, please go ahead over and hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you know when our videos are coming out. We're also on Instagram, and we would love it if you would connect with us in both places. So today, we're talking about how to get some of that spice back in your relationship. I don't know if you've noticed, but in relationships, when you first start dating, when you first meet the person, you are so, enchanted with them, caught up with them, nose be wide open, and they just got you feeling like you on cloud nine, and you would do anything to be next to them, anything to be around them, and they're just so special and they mean so much to you. Now, I'm a man, and sometimes I feel like this, so I would assume that women feel like this as well, that I don't always feel as special to my spouse, to my wife, as I feel like I used to. I feel like when the newness is what they call it was around, that newness was great and it was everything, and it just had us so in love with each other, and I would just love to have that had been around all the time. The longer we were around each other, the more comfortable we got, the more we started to notice other things, and things that were kind of charming at first or quirky are now just annoying to get on our nerves, and we've noticed other things about them that we also don't like. On top of that, we don't feel as special as we used to and doesn't feel as new. Ultimately, it's important that everyone in the relationship gets their needs met, that they are acknowledged, that they feel validated, they feel wanted, and they feel like they have a companion, and there's some intimacy there. But in our modern context in America, we don't always treat each other like that once we've been married, and once we've been married for a long time. I heard a joke that said, if you want to not have sex, you need to get married. But that you would think that married people have sex all the time, but most married people tell you that doesn't happen that often. And don't let kids be involved. When kids come, everything changes.
Man, I thought it was just me. These kids done ruin everything.
Look, when the kids come, people fundamentally change. And just because they are one way when you first meet them, these different life events cause people to change. And there are motivating factors about people and who they are now because of what has happened before. So there may have been something that's happened to them even before you met them that now is influencing the person they are now in this environment where their kids now exist. And just the reality of it, when kids get there, the kids are the most important, and you're not as important as you used to be, or you can at least feel that way. Now, your spouse, husband or wife, would never tell you that. They would never tell you they're tired of you. Well, hopefully they wouldn't.
My spouse tell me she's tired of me all the time. I get on her nerves.
But if they are telling you that, they probably don't feel like that they're really hurting you to say that. Now, if they are, that's something that you all need to talk about and talk about your feelings about. Check out my other video. I'll try to put the link up here so you can see that. But there's a concept I want to talk to you about today to try to get some of that newness or that feeling of newness and love and passion and making you feel special back in your life. Are you ready? So there were some doctors, Jacobson in Maryland, I believe there was, that came up with the idea or the concept as they were calling it, reciprocity. And just to explain this to you, this reciprocity really meant that we come up with things that we like to do, that I like, and I share it with my spouse. And understanding what they like, that I take opportunities and times to intentionally do things they like doing with them to try to make sure that they're happy and their needs are getting met. And since they know what I like, that they will return the favor and do it for me too. So this strategy should not be a hard one. That what I need you to do is position yourself and your relationship to learn more about your spouse and what they really like and what they would like to do. Then once you know it, do those things and make them feel special. And just wait and see. Once you start doing it, it'll change things in your life and your relationship. All of a sudden, you will feel special again. You'll feel loved again. You'll feel, I guess, singled out and put up. Like, oh yeah, they're doing what I like, and they're talking to me about it. I like fishing. My wife is fishing with me, and she's trying to enjoy it. And it will make you feel good. I promise you it will. So let's talk more about the strategy. This is what you need to do. If you want the strategy to work in your life and your relationship, you need to take time to intentionally write out a list of things that you enjoy doing or that you would like. And they need to be specific behaviors. It can't be, I want you to not be annoying anymore, and you need to stop doing this. You need to pick up this around the house. No, come up with things that in your life you would like. Now me, I like to cook. I like to watch movies and go to the movies. I like to travel and see new things. I like to play games, but only when they're new games. Once I play them 5-6 times, they're not new anymore, and I really don't need to play them anymore. And to be specific that way, that this is something that I would like to do, and I'm saying this and writing it down, not to hurt you and say you don't need to do this anymore and focus on your behavior, but to focus on action and my behavior. This is what I like. So when you and your spouse decide to do this, take a day and say, hey, today we're going to write down everything that we would like to do. And you need a list. And again, be specific and don't be hurtful. Step 2, then you need to take the time to share this list with your spouse and commit to saying a time frame. Hey, on this day we're going to do something for you. On this day we're going to do something for me. Or at least by the end of this time, we'll do these things. So it's not going to be like, okay, well, we did this, but 8 months later, we still haven't started. You need to start soon. So you need to set a time frame to say, hey, this is what we're going to do, to plan, to make sure that these things happen and these activities take place. So once you do that, step 3, go out and have the fun. Enjoy each other. Try to learn more about each other. If you're doing something that you didn't choose, but they chose, try your best to enjoy it and find the fun in it. And a lot of times, you may notice and learn that you like doing things that you didn't know you liked doing, but that your spouse liked doing, and you would have never tried it if you didn't do this. Let me give an example. That I used to have to drive up to Kansas every month from Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth, because I was part of the Air Force Reserve. Now, my wife used to go with me, and she reads a lot of books. And she reads books that I don't read. I read books like Think and Grow Rich, Good to Great, stuff like that, 0 to 1 is also a good book. My wife would read romance novels or drama novels. I used to call them dirty books and really make fun of it. And she didn't like it. But then one time she decided to get an audiobook, and she wanted me just to listen to it and listen to it with her. So I'm listening to audiobooks. Do you know that I tremendously enjoyed listening to them dirty books? Now, they weren't really dirty books. They were audiobooks. They were talking about relationships, and yeah, talked about sex, but it wasn't a Zane novel or anything like that. So I would say find a good book with a good story, because that's one thing about me and me liking the movies is I enjoy a good story. And she picked a good story, and I loved it. And from that point on, even to this day, if I go out of town, before I leave, I'm going to be looking for a good book to listen to that we can listen to together. And now it's something that she wanted to do and I didn't want to do. So as you let these activities take place, try to enjoy them and enjoy each other doing it. Then after a few weeks go by, and maybe you've had a chance to do some of these activities once or twice, I want you to take time to go back and meet again to kind of narrow down your list and say, hey, we did this. What'd you think of that? yeah, that was one of mine. I liked it, but I would like it better if you did these things and narrow down your list and set times to be consistent about you spending time with each other, doing the things that each other like. And that spirit and that principle of reciprocity, I'm doing this for you because you like it. It'll bounce back on you, and everyone will feel special, and they feel like you got to spend some time and you got a little bit of newness back. And while you're out there, flirt just a little bit. Have a good time. Dress up for each other. Try some new food, and let that newness creep back in your life. And I just want to say that some people are going to say that's not spontaneous. That's not exciting. You mean to tell me you want me to tell him what I want him to do and then have him do it? Or you mean to tell me I got to tell her how to make me happy and have fun and then wait for her to do it? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That if this was a game, wouldn't you want to know how to win the game and then what the rules of the game are and the procedures and then to play it? So why are we waiting for our spouse, husband or wife to read our mind, to figure out what we want and do all this trial and error? Tell her what you like and let her do it. You would be happier, and it's almost like we're asking you to cheat. Not cheat on them specifically, but cheat the test or cheat the sport. This is how you win. Go do it and win. Great. They won. They got a chance to make you happy. You're happy. I feel like it's a win-win. So even though it's not spontaneous, that I think you should still do it, especially if you have this feeling that the newness and the excitement is gone. If you really need spontaneity, write the ideas down, tear them up, put them in a jar or a basket, shake it up, and pick them at random so you don't know which one's coming out. And then pick the days at random the same way that you actually go do the activities so you can have some spontaneity. But I guarantee you that if you want that feeling to come back in, this is a great way to do it. And as this continues to develop, maybe it can become spontaneous. That they will spontaneously say, hey, I liked it when we listened to that book. Let's do it again. And you had nothing to do with it. So once again, thank you for spending time with me today to talk about this principle. My wife was busy, so she didn't get a chance to be with us today to also talk about this. Hopefully we can get her back on the next video. I like it when she does things with me, with her fine self. But again, thank you for spending that time. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I would love for you to connect with us here and on Instagram. Please apply the principles. Let us know how it went in the comments. And until next time, you be safe and we'll see you around.